Hey folks, Amelia from User Pilot here. So I just had a demo with a SaaS company that has done so much in their product in just a few short weeks that I was really impressed. But as they have been adding more and more features to their product, which I did see value in, they were kind of not adding any improvements to their customer or user experience. So I said like, how about you guys add some breadcrumbs here so I can actually navigate and know where I am? And then what happens when I click this button and move it to, like document, like where does it even go? I don't know. So, like who would also have time to jump on a third demo with you in a month to like get that value explained to them? And they were like, yeah, we will now work on the user experience because we're done with the core functionality. And I'm like, what you guys have here is a SaaS consumption gap. And I'm just writing a newsletter about it. How many does that? So I wanted to talk to you about exactly this very sad phenomenon, which is different from the value gap. The value gap is when your user comes in and is looking for a certain solution, certain value to get out of your product. And unfortunately, the value isn't there because your product lacks some certain core functionalities, or there are some integrations that are missing, so the user cannot achieve the results they want to achieve. But with consumption gap, actually they could achieve this value, but they are not getting it out of your product because they are not using certain features that would give them this value. So it's a lot more depressing to have consumption gap than value gap, because you've actually built these features and it just means you don't have the right onboarding, or customer success team is not doing a good job in leading these users to discovering this value. Of course, I would encourage you to invest in self-serve onboarding rather than in more customer success people, because during recession, right, increasing your costs by hundreds of thousands of dollars, which is ultimately what making your customer success team even bigger would amount to, is not the best idea. And besides, as I mentioned last week, 65% of B2B decision makers, even in enterprise companies, prefer self-serve. And we noticed that just last month, over 50% of our revenue came from product-led, from people that have never talked to us at all. So yeah, that's amazing. This is exactly what they want. They want to upgrade whenever they want, even in the middle of the night, right? And you want to make money in your sleep as well, right? Isn't that amazing? So essentially, how do you reduce this consumption gap? How do you lead more people to discover the value-driving features and then to upgrade on their own? Essentially, first, you need to know which features are driving value for each segment of the user. So you map your user journeys and then you basically plot the different value driving features at the different stages of the user journey. Then you build experiences that are sort of connected to each other. So after, the user has unlocked value from the first feature on their map, it triggers an experience that will lead them to the second feature and then to the third feature. So the classic interactive walkthrough. And then after they have already discovered all these features, right, you then nudge them to upgrade because these users are ready and they will be actually good customers. But now the tricky part: how do you know that they have actually engaged in all these features that you have plotted against their user journey? So you should simply track these features, and you can do it very easily with User Pilot because we have this code-free feature tagging where you can just like point to specific elements, UI elements on your interface, and we detect the element. Is it a div? Is it a span or whatever? And then we essentially allow you to tag this UI element as a specific feature usage. You will be soon able to even tag like whole groups of elements as a feature. So that's pretty cool as well. And then you can track feature usage between different segments on our dashboard. So essentially that allows you to, at a glance, see which features are underused and need to be basically highlighted more, for instance, by slide outs with an interactive walkthrough attached to them, or a little pulsating hotspot that will draw your users' attention to these underutilized features. And then when you feel that the user is ready, you kind of create a segment, which I included below, which will nudge them to upgrade on autopilot. And I can tell from our own experience that a lot of people do upgrade on autopilot if they are ready. So yeah, I hope this was helpful and will help you reduce your SaaS consumption gap. You have the article attached below if you want to read more about that. And I will see you all next week. Bye bye.